I still remember the strangest phone call I have ever received. A police officer told me there was a 15-year-old girl who needed a place to stay, and somehow I was listed as her father. I honestly thought it was a mistake. I had never been a parent. I told them they must have contacted the wrong person. They had not. Apparently, someone from my past had mentioned my name. My college girlfriend, Kimberly. We had lost contact years ago, according to the officer. She had recently been arrested and claimed I was the girl's biological father, so her daughter would not enter foster care. I was shocked. Completely speechless. A DNA test was arranged, mostly to clear things up. The result came back the next day. 99.9% match. The following morning, a social worker arrived at my apartment with a teenager, carrying everything she owned inside a worn trash bag. She looked at me carefully, crossed her arms, and said, "You are shorter than I expected." That was our introduction. Before leaving, the social worker quietly explained that her mother had told her. I walked away before she was born. Then the door closed. And suddenly it was just the two of us standing there, strangers connected by something neither of us understood yet. I asked the only thing I could think of. "Are you hungry?" She shrugged, then asked the question that clearly mattered more. "Did you leave when you found out about me?" My chest tightened. I told her the truth. I never knew she existed. She studied my face for a moment and simply nodded. I showed her the spare room. It only had an air mattress and an old desk. Nothing impressive. She looked around and said quietly, "It is bigger than where I stayed before." That sentence stayed with me all night. Later, I heard rapid typing coming from her room. When I checked in, she was building a video game entirely on her own laptop. I asked if she really made it herself. She said she taught herself online because she thought college was never an option for someone like her. That is when I told her I worked as a software engineer. From that night on, we started coding together. For the first time since arriving, she smiled, and it looked exactly like mine. Weeks passed. She enrolled in school and quickly stood out in her classes. Her confidence began to grow little by little. One evening, she showed me an updated version of her game. The story followed a kid who unexpectedly discovers a family they never knew they had. I asked what choice most players made at the end. She grinned and said, "They stay. People usually choose to stay when they find where they belong." 3 months later, while we were watching television, she said casually, "Dad, can you pass the remote?" It sounded ordinary, but to me it felt like everything in life had finally fallen into place.